Na, ez mindenkinek folytatjuk tovább a Forbidden West-et, ugye ebben a föld alatti kisvárosban, ahol most meg kell küzdenünk valami nagy döggel. Most a krokodilos lesz? Azt hittem a másik oldalon lévő nagy döggel kell megküzdeni.
Left these machines behind. I could sneak by them. Deal with a big one first.
Ja, tényleg a nagyhoz kell menni. Csak hát kell lopakodni, hogy a kicsik ne vegyenek észre. Nem vagyok itt.
Using frost won't help here. Okay, Poseidon is through there. Where did that machine go?
Aloy! It's a miracle!
Come on.
Was this you? Did you lower the waters?
Yeah, but there's a new problem. That thing's in our way.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to get the embers with that around.
As the scrappy band of adventurers beheld the beast, they knew what they had to do.
What? Are you crazy? Hush now. She saved our Delph.
Okay then. Stay up here and start firing when I engage.
Awesome.
Places, fellas. Get to that overhang.
Szarébe kaptuk.
Now I need more.
Puti. Hűha, nem jó, nem jó. Mász ki a vízbe, bazd meg! Mász ki a vízbe! Ez kell. Gyorsan! Bazd meg! Kérd már föl! Gyorsan, gyorsan, gyorsan! Sok értelme nem volt. Ugrás, ugrás!
Much better.
Nem már! Mi a fasz? Ennyire kevés életem volt? Fuck. Hát ez very sad. Próbáljuk meg még egyszer ezt a szart. A kurva anyád! Jaj, berobbant. Nem bírok elugrani. Mász ki! Bazd meg! Bazd meg, hát ez nem igaz. De bazd meg! Jó, és ezelől hogy ugorjak el? Folyamatosan nyomatja a kurva vízpermetet. A dolgot testével rám, jó? Próbáljuk meg újra. Telerakom csapdákkal ezt a szart. Jó, de ilyenkor eltűnnek a másik csapdák, bassza meg.
Traps made.
de jó, és nem robbantottak a bunkót. És nem ők fölkelni, bazd meg! Geci! Ez miért ugrik? Ez beteg! Futás! Gyere bele! És felrobbantotta a bombával. Ó, sikerült, király. Most azok milyen könnyen meghalt. Ezt nem lehet kilútolni? Azért mondom.
Poseidon should be somewhere beyond this door. Time to bring it home.
Na most ők kevésbé érdekelnek, ez a lehetőségeken. Hello?
Okay. Poseidon should be hiding in some kind of processor. I need to find a console to gain access to it. There. I should be able to use that console. I'm here to bring you home, Poseidon. To Gaia. Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Poseidon's subordinate function to original code.
Na hát ez amúgy nem volt olyan vész.
Okay. Gotta bring this back to Gaia.
System reboot initiated.
Looks like taking Poseidon triggered a restart of the city's power system. Moreland and crew must have headed back up top. Probably numbers they could carry, I bet.
Nem volt rossz egyébként ez a víz alatti rész, csak nehéz volt egy kicsit, de ja, érdekes volt. Na már? Hoppá. Még egy szinttel följebb. Nem itt még mindig. Hogy megyünk még följebb? Ja, ezt megnéztem. Szóval azt is megnéztem. Erre.
An elevator.
Hopp, hopp.
No one must have built this before the place flooded. Nice to work. Nice not to have to climb back up.
Whatever she did, it must have powered up the whole city. That go. How much did all this cost?
Música.
Oh, the show my old Gramps always wanted. There's another.
His dream realized, his old Gramps' legacy ensured. Our hero beheld the sea of desert lights and wept at his good fortune.
When I saw the embers as a child, I never dreamed they could be like this. Thank you, Aloy. Well, did you find what you were looking for?
I did. And now I have to move on.
Oh. Oh. Come back when you can. I got big plans for this place.
I thought you wanted to put on shows with the Emperors back in the claim.
Oh, no. This is the show. Oh, can you imagine? Folks from all over the land coming to take it all in. Plus some food and a nice place to stay.
Not to mention a variety of entertainment venues.
Don't forget, games of chance. Plenty of shards to be had there for certain.
A new dream, huh?
Ők fogják létrehozni az új Las Vegas.
I hope you make it happen. Goodbye, gentlemen.
This delve is a story for the ages. All thanks to you.
Nagyon jó lett ez a játék.
More
Ezek a kis...
crew's gonna stay. Maybe I should come back and check on them later.
Ezek a apró kis nem fontos dolgok, hogy most itt vannak ezek a kincsvadászok, ez is olyan jól meg lett csinálva, olyan hangulatos, hogy beszarás. Hihetetlen. Nagyon kíváncsi ezek a sidequestekre is. Azok milyenek lesznek. Akkor megvan Poseidon is, és akkor már csak a izé fog kelleni, ez a Demetri.
So the old ones painted their
Welcome back, Aloy. I see you have recovered Poseidon.
Drágám.
Aloy, can you come downstairs? Beta has something you need to hear.
Beta.
Okay. I'll be right down.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock additional rooms within the facility.
Got it. Hey, Gaia. Me again.
Welcome back, Aloy. Where shall we resume?
What can you tell me about Demeter?
Demeter sows, fertilizes, and tends to plant life.
So once I bring it back, all the blight out there will start to get better.
While permanent restoration requires the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to improve conditions in the region for a while. However, a word of warning. Like Ether and Poseidon, Demeter's response to my query was highly irregular. Alone and frightened, it may have taken measures to assure its security.
Okay. I'll keep my guard up. How's Katalo doing?
I have detected that the loss of his arm still deeply pains him. In an effort to remedy this, I have discussed a potential solution with him. I believe he will want to fill you in on the details.
Aha.
A solution? I'll check in with him when I can, then. How are things around here?
Zoe has been studying the morphology of her land gods in an effort to understand their sickness. Without the abilities of Hephaestus, I am unfortunately unable to correct their programming. However, Zoe and I are hopeful we will find an alternative way to heal them.
Well, keep at it. Varl and Zoe seem to like spending time together.
Indeed. While studying old world data, Zoe discovered references to a dietary lifestyle known as vegetarianism. She appreciated the similarities with Utaru practices and encouraged Varl to try out this lifestyle.
And how did that go?
I believe they have agreed to disagree.
Nice.
How's Erend handling things?
He is becoming increasingly accustomed to use of the focus after an initial incident.
What did he do?
He unfortunately crushed his first focus as he attempted to affix it to his temple. Amongst a number of Oseram curses, I believe he also blamed the focus for being dainty. He has given repeated assurances that it will not happen again.
Well, good thing we have a lot of extras, I guess.
Ki van még? Ja,
So there's a few people here now, and they're learning. All about you, the ancient world. Almost like what was supposed to happen before Apollo was purged.
Yes. While the loss of the Apollo database was catastrophic, there is still much that can be gleaned from the data you have uncovered. For instance, Varl has been reviewing the last recorded entries from those who perished during the Fairy Plague. Hearing their hopes and fears made him quite somber.
Anything I should be worried about?
I do not believe so. I have elected not to intervene. to allow him to process this on his own terms.
Érdekes. Kíváncsi vagyok, mi lesz Kotalló karjával.
So this facility, the Regional Control Center, it was meant to oversee the terraforming system?
For the local region, yes. Had humans received their education from the Apollo database, they would have then been guided here to assume operation. As that never happened, this place remained vacant.
Until Minerva decided to settle here. So the Hades Proving Lab, where I found the Gaia kernel, it used to be a Pharaoh research facility?
Yes. Prior to appropriation by Zero Dawn, the facility was used to engineer and test advanced computer viruses. It appears to have been one of many research initiatives by Pharaoh Automated Solutions.
Guess it wasn't enough to build automated killing machines. He wanted viruses to infect them with too. So, a while back, before the battle at Meridian, I went into Banuk territory. I discovered another AI there, one not related to Zero Dawn. Cyan. It was created to oversee operations for a volcanic stabilization project, and it spent the last 1,000 years in isolation. I'm guessing you didn't know about it?
No. From the data on your focus, it seems that Cyan was cut off from the outside world, an effort by its creators to protect it from the Pharaoh plague.
Any chance it could help us now?
I have already attempted contact, with no success. Given its previous experience with accepting an outside network request, I imagine it is unwilling to do so again.
Right. Because last time Hephaestus enslaved it. Well, that's too bad. I think the two of you would have had a lot to talk about. There was an ancient tank embedded in the bulwark, buried under a bunch of boulders. Any idea how it got there?
During the Pharaoh plague, the US military resumed the use of human combatants, as automated machinery was unreliable. It is possible the vehicle was part of a pre-automated war fleet.
So they fought against the Pharaoh machines in the valley, until the mountain was blasted apart and buried them. When I dove down into Vegas, I found data about the man who built the dome over the city, Stanley Chen. It turns out he was a member of Far Zenith. But if he loved Vegas so much, why did he abandon it? Why not try to save it?
The Zeniths at their core have proven to be exceptional survivalists. Faced with overwhelming odds of extinction, they chose to flee.
Even still, what he achieved. Water to the wasteland, an entire city brought back to life. 1,000 years later, the whole place was still on standby, just waiting for someone to come along and wake it up.
Jó. Megtudtunk mindent, amit akartunk. Nem. Szerintem meg.
Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
Her presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend?
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate, though I am glad she made it home. I deeply wish she did not have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. The only one who could. Thanks, Gaia. So, Project Zero Dawn. The greatest minds in the world, all working to build the terraforming system while the Pharaoh Plague devoured the planet. What was it like?
Personnel worked in rotations at all hours of the day. Resources and technology were secured from across the world. Within a month of the project's conception, I was launched and began my education. Elizabeth encouraged me to spend time with the rest of the Zero Dawn staff. She said it was important to experience many personalities and perspectives to aid in my emotional development.
What were they like?
Scared, hopeful, determined. They were hurtling toward technological achievements on a scale never before attempted. I owe everything to their dedication.
I should be going.
Goodbye, Aloy.
Happy birthday, Isaac. Daddy sure does love his little big man.
She found that recording from the data on your focus. She's been watching it a lot. I think it helps calm her.
Ez még az első rész elejéről van, azt hiszem.
You know, I used to watch this a lot too. Whenever I wanted to take my mind off things.
Daddy sure does love his little big...
But there's something you need to tell me?
While you were gone, I came down here to check on her. Then we started talking. Right, Beta? She's been thinking about how to capture Hephaestus, studying the data Gaia gave her. But we started talking about some other stuff. You know, just getting to know each other, right? And then she told me that one of the Zeniths might be different from the others.
Tilda. You saw her at the Hades Proving Lab.
Go on.
On the way to Earth, the Zeniths never showed their faces. The servitor caretaker referred to them as my benefactors, and promised I'd meet them someday, when I had learned enough. And then, one day, a data channel opened in my training interface. In it, Tilda was waiting for me. In a virtual replica of a house on a cliff, overlooking the ocean. It was beautiful. She showed me paintings, books, media files. We met there in secret many times. But a few months later, it stopped.
Can you tell us why, Beta?
I found some data about Tilda at the Hades Proving Lab. I think she was the liaison between Far Zenith and Zero Dawn. She knew Elizabeth Sobek, that's for sure.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you?
What else can you tell us about Tilda? She liked to talk about her paintings. What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that? She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect. Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage? She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses. You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel? It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it? To them, it looked like I was still in training, toiling away, alone. So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view?
Hol lehet, hogy
I
fogunk
could
vele
see white
találkozni?
caps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave. You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files? Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many. Did it interest you? I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis. Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use? No. Any information about them was redacted. So Tilda set up a secret virtual space where she could talk to you, a house on a cliff. Then later, she cut you off. But other than the fact that Tilda knew Elizabeth, you don't know why she did those things?
I don't! Okay? I thought of every possible reason that would make her leave, but whatever I did wrong, I don't know what it is.
When I finally met the others, she ignored me. Acted like the data channel never existed. None of this even matters.
Tilda's the same as the others. It won't help us defeat them.
Okay. Let's leave it at that then.
Szegény csaj kicsit össze van zavarodva.
What's wrong?
I'm trying, Varl. But she is tough to take. I'm out there in the wilds, risking my life every day, and all she can do is hide in there and tell us how hopeless it all is. I'm sorry, she's had a rough time, but she is really not helping right now.
You always seem to be on top of everything, so I sometimes forget about what you've been through. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you were so banged up you couldn't even walk. About that. When I pulled you out of the water back near the proving lab, you were muttering Rost's name. You never talk about him. But he raised you, trained you. You must miss him a lot.
Of course I do. But I don't have
Azt
time
basztam
to
még
think
be, ha
about
rosszról
that
is
now.
kiderülne valami, hogy ő is valami zenites volt,
I
vagy
need to get back
ilyesmi.
out there.
Okay. I'll keep working with Beta. Gaia says she knows a lot about Zero Dawn. And maybe she just needs some time to adjust, and then she can help us with Hephaestus.
Sure. But I won't hold my breath.
Jó, most én Kotálóval kéne beszélni. Mielőtt megyünk a koordinátákhoz.
I don't think that door had power before, but looks like it's malfunctioning. Looks like some kind of maintenance space. This leads. cells? Huh. That did it.
Aloy? A bunch of lights just turned on up here? Was that you?
Oh. Huh. Yeah, I guess it was. Hello.
Oli. Na. Hol van Cotello?
I just think you talk to him. You would too, if you knew everything there is to know about everything.
Jó, ezek hárman itt vannak. Hol van Cotello vajon?
Looks like someone's put some of my stuff in here.
Aloy, I see you found your room. Your companions thought you would appreciate a private space of your own.
That was thoughtful of them.
Ja, ez volt az én szobám.
There's a lot of equipment in here. Gaia, what was all this for?
This room was designed for management of the facility's vast
Itt
seed
van
banks.
Cotello.
From here, control center operatives would have monitored new crop rotations into the automated farmlands,
Jaj, most
now
ezzel...
known as Plainsong.
Miért nem? Ja, jó.
I see. Gaia, what was this room for?
This was intended to be a recreational room for control center operatives. I have repurposed the displays to track Regala's activity in the region.
A useful war map.
Mind if we have a word?
Of course not.
What do you think of our squad?
They seem eager to fight. Though I admit it is strange to see a new Taru in the ranks. Farmers don't make for effective soldiers.
She seemed pretty effective when she took out the machines that were guarding this base.
Interesting. Perhaps I am mistaken.
Have you had a chance to speak with Varl?
Briefly. He fought well against Regala's troops at Barren Light. Are all Nora as skilled as the two of you?
I'm not exactly one of them. But anyway, the Nora can hold their own. They managed to push the Karja from their lands.
I thought my tribe was the only one to have done that. Impressive.
Does it still hurt?
It comes and goes. I try not to think about it, but its absence is always present for me. It's difficult to explain.
I can't claim to understand. Only empathize.
Then you have my thanks.
Have you spoken with Erend at all?
I've had little chance to. I did see him bring some ale from out east.
That stuff's as bitter as self-brush.
You get used to it, eventually. In fact, I wouldn't mind a drink myself.
I'm sure Erend wouldn't mind sharing. What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the focus shows me. So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use against the enemy. This Hephaestus, it will be able to make machines? That answer to Gaia?
Yes.
How many?
As many as we need.
Such power. Has the world ever seen the like?
You said you were training with the Focus?
That's right. I've been watching holograms of your first fight with the Zenith Spectres. They are faster and more agile than any machines I've faced before. How many do the Zeniths have?
I'm not sure.
Remélem nem
Probably a
sok.
lot.
I would not wish to face them en masse.
I'm with you there. Must be strange, seeing everything through a focus now.
I can see machines like never before. Their strengths and weaknesses simply reveal themselves to me. To think that such a tiny object might be the most powerful weapon I've ever possessed.
What do you think of this place? It must take some getting used to.
It's an efficient center of operations, and an acceptable training facility. Though it could use some more color.
Duly noted. Getting ether out of the grove made for quite a spectacle.
One that showed the entire tribe that Hikaro's mission for peace is the correct path, for it is now blessed by the Ten themselves.
Now that you know who the enemy is, do you have any questions?
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp. From the heavens. And invulnerable.
For now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deepest.
You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago. That you were part of the Sky Clan.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish.
Na erre kíváncsi
My
vagyok.
parents were killed in a clan skirmish, so I was raised by my squad. As I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished fighter. Tekote took a special interest in me. I fought by his side against the Karja, and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the Daunt. It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light, from the east side, allowing the Tenakth to raise it.
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed home as a hero, and I was content.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan to become a marshal?
I was sent to the Cold by Tekote. Back then, I would have obeyed his every order. I believed in him, like one would a father. I was too blind to see the fear in his eyes. Fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command of the clan. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, I was only a threat. Never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above my station.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Cool Route?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Cool Route, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tenakth as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command, even if I wanted to. After our victory at Barren Light, Tekote spoke to our people, said it would be selfish to rob Hikaro and the marshals of a warrior like myself, even though he knew perfectly well I had no intention of ever leaving. It was exile, guised as an honor. One he knew I couldn't refuse. So I became a marshal, and never looked back.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, a marshal is what I was destined to be.
When we were at the Bulwark, the guard said something about the wings of the Ten. Hikaro also mentioned it at the Cool Route. Dekka, too. What does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings, and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the Cool Route. Many times I imagined it as a child. The feeling of freedom, and the awe it must have inspired.
What did Chief Akaro say when you told him he'd be joining me here?
You spilled rebel blood at the Grove and helped reunite the clans. There was little more to be said. He understood.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best marshal. At least for a little while.
Indeed.
Na jó.
I should get going.
If I can help in some way, say the word.
I will. Thank you.
Na jó, innen fogjuk folytatni a játékot. Nem lehetne valahogy kijebb menni? Na, menjünk ki.
Plugging in that power cell downstairs must have turned on these holograms.
Nem erre. Merre tudok kimenni? Most egy kicsit eltévedtem. Arra van a izé. Arra van a felvezető. Szóval itt tudunk kimenni, aha. Meg akarom nézni, meddig kell elmenni. Van 11 pontunk, amit elkölthetünk. Király. Jó, na nézzük. A térképet, bassza meg, jó messzire kell menni. Ide tudunk utazni. Vagy ide, az is jó. Ide is tudunk? Á, ide is tudunk, akkor ide fogunk. Na. Szóval, innen fogjuk folytatni a következő videóban, és elmegyünk az utolsó ilyen al egységért. Kidobjuk még a pontokat. Ó, az nagyon jól hangzik. Abban helyeztetünk a csapdákat. Ez micsoda amúgy? Ja, most így megvan az egyes szint? Aha, most így megvan az egyes szint, király. Vadászatban menjünk tovább. Aha, jó. Jó, innen fogjuk akkor folytatni. Tetszett a videó, akkor dobjatok egy lájkot, meg iratkozzatok fel itt a csatornára, és találj a következőben. Sziasztok!